Assalamu alaikum everyone, myself Hafiz Abdul Aziz and you are watching Language Learners. Welcome back to another lecture. And if I talk about today's topic, that is going to be glossophobia. Okay, so if you don't know about the word glossophobia, then it is not a big deal. We are here for you to tell you about each and everything. Okay, so it was a topic which was delivered by one of my students once. Her name was Filza Ramzan. But today I am going to describe it for you. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide where probably we will find a definition of the word glosso and phobia. You might have heard about different kind of phobias. People usually have a lot of phobia. Some have height phobia and all. Some people have phobia from the spider. Phobia means fear. Okay, so let's see according to the definition that is visible on the screen. The word come from the Greek root glosso, which means tongue, and the root phobia, which means fear. So collectively we can say it is known as a fear of public speaking. There are so many people who feel this fear and we are here along with a solution. So let's see what do we have on the upcoming slides. Okay, just think about it. It happens to everyone in my opinion. I just want you to memorize that situation when you were alone, when you were facing the same problem, the days of giving presentations in front of your class. Whenever we get promoted to another class, whenever we join any new society, the senior or the person who is running that organization, he invite us and ask us to introduce yourself or come in front of the stage and tell everybody about yourself or give any kind of, you can say, presentation to all of them. So just remember, when did you face this problem? Or maybe you have to give it for the work. In order to get the work, in order to get, you can say, a job, you have to give an interview. So you can also consider that situation over here when you have to, you can say, appear in front of a lot of people, or it might be one person or someone who is the bossy one, and you have to give presentation, and you started feeling so many things that we are going to see on the upcoming slides, that what kind of situation do we face in these kind of fear. Let's move on. Okay, what was the feeling? Okay, I want you to let us know about your fear when you have this kind of scenario of giving presentation or telling or giving your opinion to anyone. What kind of fear do you face? Complete loss of voice? Is it the fear you usually face? Heart pounding, hands shaking, forehead sweats? I have seen this in so many people. They are like, no, I am fatty, that is why I get a lot of fat sweats. But I don't think so. I'm not, you can say, judging anyone, but people usually they started shaking their hands and their legs, they started shivering and they need water instantly. They started feeling the lack of oxygen. These are the most common ones. So forehead sweats, dry mouth, stomach hurts. Yeah, people sometime when they are giving presentation or something like that, they need to use restroom, they need to go to the washroom just because of the, you can say, stomach hurts or these kind of problems. So lack of oxygen and shallow breathing. Shallow breathing means the upper layer remains up and the lower, the blood pressure problem. Okay, so let's see what do we have on the next slide. What we want you is to draw up the situation do you face in the comment box, so that we will bring up a solution according to your problems. Just imagine when you were at your school and you have to give some kind of, you can say, you have to participate in any kind of function, or either it is an assembly, you have to do recitation or not, or any activity. When you went up on the stage, why do you get stage fright? What is the reason behind that? Write it down, find it out. Because if you don't know the problem, then how can you find out the solution? So just ask yourself this question: why do we get stage fright. Stage fright comes from nerves and the fear of being judged. Yeah, that is the main problem, which is usually the most common one कि लोग क्या कहेंगे. Just stop thinking about it. Nowadays, nobody has time. So what I would suggest is कि लोगों के पास भी अब इतना time नहीं है कि वो कुछ कहें. Nobody is that much free. Nobody has this much spare time. He is gonna judge you and he is gonna pass comments on you yourself. So it's not like that. So when many eyes are looking upon you and watching your every move, it is easy to feel like you are going to mess up. Okay, so never ever think about this thing that you are being judged, because if you will think like this, then definitely the chances of making a mistake, the chances of, you can say, messing up the situation, that goes up. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Let's see what do we have. Okay, so I personally conducted a research about glossophobia at my university when I was a student at the University of Central Punjab. I conducted this research once. It was related to public speaking. So, there are so many people who want to speak, but they are unable to. If you ask this question to the people that can you speak English or either in Urdu, do you speak Urdu? Can you just come onto the stage and read this line or speak on this problem or any specific topic? They are unable to. I'm not talking about English, but they are unable to even talk in Urdu about in their mother language on the stage or in front of camera. That is known as public speaking, the fear of public speaking, glossophobia. So these are the results of the research that we have conducted, that people have fear of public speaking, that is 74%, which is more than death as well. So according to this research, people have fear of public speaking more than the fear of death. That is quite, you can say, shocking news. Then there comes the spider one, 30.5% darkness. Yeah, people to whom I have met till now. Some have darkness, some have the fear of, you can say, the height phobia, and yeah, some of them have thunder and lightning, same as you can see all the tactics over here. Public speaking is considered the greatest fear a person can have, even greater than the fear of death. Okay, so it's not like you are alone. There are 74% people who face the same problem. So let's see to whom need to learn public speaking on the next slide. Who needs to speak in public? Yeah, as you can see, politicians. Yeah, that is why Imran Khan is, you can say, acceptable throughout the world, because he is a very good public speaker. He can speak in front of public. See, people usually make laugh of the some politicians because they are unable to speak English, or even in Urdu they are unable to convey their message. They usually have a kind of paper on which the whole description is written. They prefer to read from there. So that is not acceptable, or you can say that is not a very good thing to do at the level of, you can say, the country level. So people usually what I know is people used to pass some kind of comments like this. Yeah, at least Imran Khan doesn't read from the paper or somewhere. He speaks for himself. So entrepreneurs, yeah, entrepreneurs are the persons who run their own businesses, who bring a very creative idea into the market, who takes up the risk and bring something revolutionary. They are the entrepreneurs. So they have to give their presentations, they have to teach the whole team this, so they have to present their business ideas in front of, you can say, the investors, and also he also needs public speaking. And the teachers, one of the most important things, teachers, they should have a strong command. They should not have this fear. Public speaking is a public affair. Okay, so let's see what do we have further in order to discuss. Okay, some people think like I cannot learn any English or anything anymore because my age has been gone. It's not like that. So the question that you can see on the screen, is it too late? No, it is a myth. It is too late now to go and learn the basics. It should have been taught to us in our school days. So it is a myth that they have written over here. So the thing that we should focus on is stop giving excuses. and work for a better future. I usually do the same thing. I actually hate excuses. When it comes to lame, I started hating that person. Okay, so let's move on. It's not a taunt, but it's my nature. I never ever make any kind of excuses. So that is why it is not acceptable in my life about the excuses. So the game, yeah, it is all in your brain. The game is in your brain. Your brain is very, 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 you can say, powerful. It contains, in my opinion, it contains some kind of magnet. Whenever you start thinking about anything, your brain started attracting that thing. It contains some kind of magnets. Whatever you think, that started becoming reality. So think positive, and the positive is going to happen in your life. Okay, so let's see further on the next slide. Okay, so probably you know what the TED Talk are. If you feel like you shouldn't be somewhere, fake it, do it until you make it, but until you become it. Okay, so if I describe this quote or saying, then they're saying if you don't, okay, they're saying, for example, if I want to become a teacher now, so and I know that I am not a good teacher. Yeah, usually it is happening. So there are so many people who are unable to get any kind of jobs, and so they prefer to go for the teaching side. And that is the, you can say, the alarming situation in Pakistan or throughout the world wherever this thing is being adopted. So you can say people are faking it. They show that they are here in order to, you can say, teach, but they are not there. They are there because they didn't get any kind of, you can say, any other option. At my university, I had a teacher who used to teach us about the course or the subject which was entrepreneurship. And when I asked some kind of situations to him, like how many businesses do you own, sir, he's like, no one. And when he came to know about me, when that I run an institute and all, so he's like, I prefer not to say it over here. So the thing is, the person who used to teach us entrepreneurship, he doesn't own any kind of business. He was doing a job. So the thing is, same as Andrew Tate said, which color is your Bugatti? Which color is your Bugatti? I think he has a dialogue similar to this one. Which color is your Bugatti? So people usually ask the same question at their college professors now. Okay, so let's move on. You can find a lot of TED Talks at on the YouTube. You can just watch them out in order to improve your English as well. That is going to inspire you. That is going to give you a motivation as well. Okay, so you can also watch TED Talks in order to improve your English. Okay, so elements of any talk. There are three elements: audience, speaker, and content. Let's move on to the next one in order to describe the audience. Okay, so the main thing is to know your audience. According to the 7 C's of effective communication, I have delivered a lecture on that. If you didn't, you can say, go through that lecture, I suggest you, that is a very important one in order to understand the glossophobia. Just go over there, watch it out, learn the 7 C's of effective communication, then come back over here and watch this video again. So it is a very important point to know your audience. Audience. For example, over here at the 7 C's of effective communication, I described a point which was consideration. I was saying over there as well, whenever to whom you are talking to, you just change your vocabulary according to your audience, according to you, according to their level of understanding. For example, if I am talking to a student of class 1, I change my vocabulary. When I am talking to a student of Punjab board or something like the board thing, then I will change my vocabulary. When I am talking to a person who has a background like the OA levels, then I'll definitely change my accent as well and my vocabulary as well. So whenever I am talking to any British person or a person from a foreign country, I just change my accent. The reason behind that is there is also a saying that I would like to quote: a man is known by the company he keeps, and another one is, when you are in Rome, do what Romans do. So know your audience about their feelings. How do they feel right now when you are teaching them something or delivering your message? Are they getting bored or something? whatever they are feeling, you should know about the audience. You should have the ability to read the facial expressions, to judge what do they want, and you have to act accordingly. So let's move on to the next point. It was the first one. So second point says, yeah, audience feeling. Your audience may be more scared than you have knowledge the audience want. Okay, so as we read it before, that fake it until you make it. So you should be confident. For example, if there are 100 students or 100 audience who is here in order to learn English from me, if I won't be that much confident, how they can be? They are like, even he is not sure about the thing that he is saying. So why should we copy it? Why should we adopt it? Why should we write it? They are not going to take you serious if you are not confident. So either you are at your organization or anywhere, be confident. If you are not, then there are some practices that you can do in order to improve your confidence. So let's see on the next slides about all these rules and regulations, or the things that we should do or adopt in order to become a good speaker. The audience wants you to succeed. They feel brilliant for for attending. Okay, so sometimes people buy tickets in order to see you, in order to listen to you. So the thing, for example, if somebody is paying, you can say 1,000 in order to come into my class for one day or of only 1 hour. So I have to deliver 1 hour, 1,000, the equivalent of 1,000 to that single person. So I have to know the feeling of the audience. That is my responsibility. So let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, the core is the speaker. You know, speaker is the main person who is speaking, and audience is the second person. So the whole thing depends on speaker. He has to make some jokes as well in order to make his audience laugh. He has to do some kind of activities in order to make them, you can say, the make them participate while you are delivering a lecture. So let's see what point do we have further. Okay, so now we are about to figure out the problem, and after that we are going for the solution. Figure out what scares you. Investigate your fear by making a list of the specific things that make you feel anxious or afraid. Then make a corresponding list of ways you can cope up or overcome with or address these fears. Okay, so what you are supposed to do is to write down all the fears, that what do you feel when you have to speak in front of public. You have to write down all the fears, all the situations, all the whatever happens to you when you have to speak. You have to write it down. You can also let us know as well, so that we will suggest you with the solution accordingly. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so these are the practices that you can adopt in order to, you can say, just stay away from the fear of speaking in front of public. That is also known as stage fright, means standing on the stage, and you can say the fear of being judged. Yeah, warm up your body before speaking. Yeah, do the warm up, deep breathly, these kind of activities you can do in order to, you can say, stay. How, that is a very famous one of the कांपे टांग जाती हैं. What was that? Yeah, टांगें कांप जाती हैं और कांपे, yeah, बिलावल one. So the thing is, it is not going to happen if you just warm up your body or breathe deeply, breathe in, breathe out, or have some water. So these kind of things can, you can say, put away your fear and make you confident. Another thing, there is a well-known saying, practice makes a man perfect. Sorry, woman, it is not going to make you perfect, but I would like to make some kind of changes in it. Practice make you better than before. Okay, so because there is always a room for improvement. So over here, I would say, just imagine the formal practice before a speaking event will help you feel more confident. What people usually do is they just stand in front of the mirror and they practice the whole presentation they are going to deliver. So you can also do the same thing as well, or you can do the thing which is written over here. on the screen. Next point is, visualize success. That is the most important one. How can we visualize the success? Okay, let's read this one first. Picture yourself succeeding and having fun. Close your eyes and do a mental rehearsal of your speech once or twice before you deliver it. Now, I would like to, you can say, describe the whole scenario in my opinion. Just imagine, for example, whatever your goal is, just imagine that what are you going to feel when you will achieve it. So everybody wants money. Just imagine you have achieved a lot of money. You can buy everything, you can do everything. You can say, you can just hang around, you can just do, you can buy a car or whatever you want. You can do everything. Just imagine you in this world being a successful, what is it? The money, being rich, that is the success now. That is the, you can say, the measurement of judging or knowing how much successful you are. That is the money. So just imagine you have a lot of money, and just imagine how would you feel. You won't have any kind of stress. You have freedom. You do not have to feel worry about anything. So that is the success. So just imagine and start working for that day. Okay, so work your ass off and just try to, you can say, get it as soon as possible, because your parents are waiting for that day. You are waiting for that day. There are so many people who love you. They are waiting for that day. Okay, so hopefully we are about to end our today's lecture, and I would like to sum it up. Let's see, do we have any more slides left? Yeah, visit the space. These are some activities you can do. For example, when you, wherever you have, it is related to the, you can say, the actors. You know, the ramp walks, you might have seen a lot of ramp walks. They also do the practice before the final one. As you can see, everybody does some kind of practice, even the sportsmen as well, batsman or the bowlers. They do a lot of practice. Even the fighters or whichever field, you can just name it up. Everybody does. Even the dancer or the actress, they do the practice. They visit the place where they are supposed to do some kind of recording. They go into the scenario and then they start the recording. So let's move on. These are the things that can help you in order to, you can say, make you become less fearful. Okay, so play with the worst scenario. Just imagine what can happen. What can be the worst? What worst can be happen with you? Okay, so there is a saying that is related to the gym specifically, that says the worst workout is the one that didn't happen. So the thing is that, you know, what is the worst thing? You are not letting yourself out from the comfort zone. That is the worst thing. You are participating. Either if you are not doing well, that is not a big deal. You are improving, you are learning something at least. Okay, so performing, yeah, just try to give your best. If you are not doing the best, that is not a big deal. You must learn something from that, and better luck the next time. Let's move on. Okay, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for listening to us and being a part of Language Learners, being our listeners. And what I can say is, yeah, love you all.